World setting, part 1. The story takes place in a modern-day alternative paranormal impreg world where yokai, Japanese monsters, are real, and the humans, for the most part, don't know about them. In this world, we're mainly focused on a hostel on the side of a snowy mountain, which is not that far from the realm of the yokai country called Kimpero. In this world, yokai stay in a childlike form because they're children or adults stuck in that form who can will themselves to become adults or must wait till they find their soulmates. Like with our main character, Tenchi, he's in that boat. He cannot become an adult until he finds his soulmate. Another thing is, until their adult form is stabilized and solidified, they can go from a child to an adult. Like with Kempsey, his adult form is not stable. So with strong emotions, he'll jump back to being a kid. You know, because the adult, at least in the beginning, with short periods of time until he starts settling out in his adult form. Another way they can be forced to become an adult is by taking away their talismans. Like with our main character, he has a disc on his head, and the five-tailed cat has a charm, which was a braided necklace with a bell. If the talismans are taken away, they become an adult, but put them back on, they revert to being a kid when they are destroyed. They can no longer go back to being a kid. When the talisman is destroyed, their kid form pretty much vanishes. They stay as an adult. But those talismans are still intact. Take them off, they're an adult. Put them back on, they're a kid. World setting, part 2. Their soulmates are marked by their yokai or yokais during intimacy, and if they're human, this mark is the only way they can get into the yokai country. But the catch is that they cannot leave. If you're a human marked by a yokai, if you go into their country, you cannot go back to the human world. You have to stay in the yokai world. There's no way of getting back to your family. Another thing about the mark is if the mating is not stable or is toxic, they can be removed by specific yokai like the five-tailed cat, or strong negative emotions like rejection will also take the mark away. Like we see with some examples in stories, if the relationship is not good or toxic, the mark does not stay. It vanishes. Yokais also need to stay intensely hydrated when they're weak. They need water to revive them, otherwise they could die. Like Tenchi in the very beginning when Mitsuko finds him in the snow, he's very weak, very exhausted, and he needs water. And you see the part where he nearly died at the beginning of the story because he was dehydrated. Yokais in the story need to stay hydrated 24/7. Warning, spoilers ahead. If you're not a fan of spoilers, I recommend go to the part of the video where it says into spoilers to see the likes and dislikes and final thoughts. But if you don't mind spoilers, please continue. Big plot points, part 1. Mitsuko is walking back to the hostel to see a small figure in the snow. Worried, he crouches down, instantly thought it was a child, an alien, but came to figure out it was a yokai. When the young yokai passes out, he takes him back to the hostel, trying to figure out what he's going to do next while drinking tea. When the yokai wakes up, he says, "I need water," over and over again. Mitsuko takes an elephant watering can and pours it on his head. The liquid revigorates him. But he was not impressed. He was like, "I wanted water to drink, not it poured on my head. You stupid human." Like, what's going on with you? Like, seriously, like, what the heck? It was his reaction, which was really funny in the panels, the way the artist and author drew. Then Tenchi, the yokai, says he cannot go home until he repays his kindness and tells him to come and get me when you figure it out. and hides in a box. Jumping on a Michael, page 15. Sorry, dear author, if I'm butchering your title and your character's name. I'm truly sorry. Mitsuko's uncle, who the hostel's owner, came back. They talk, and said uncle somehow knows the yokai. And when the yokai explains the situation, the uncle tells him he can stay. After this, Mitsuko does Tenshin's hair. He gets mad because he put it in a bun. He was not happy that Mitsuko put up his hair in a bun. He was like, the ponytail's fine. Why'd you put a damn bow in it? Like, seriously, what the heck? It was his reaction. Then Tenshin and the uncle gets into an argument over differing opinions. Like, literally, they blow up at each other not even 5 minutes later. Because the uncle makes a comment about his hair, he makes a comment about his love life, and these two are like cats and dogs throughout the manga.